So today on The Indian Filmmaker, we understand the camera and we learn how to tell a story through the camera.
Hey everyone, welcome to the brand new episode of The Indian Filmmaker. Have you ever thought, why do feature films look more professional and why do your videos or your short films don't look much professional or look a bit amateur? Maybe because they spend a lot of money, or maybe they are professionals and we are not. Right? No, that's not at all true. Even you guys can achieve that cinematic look if you just follow some basic steps, and today's episode is all about understanding the importance of camera and cinematography. So let's now concentrate more about the technicalities of the camera. So the camera is the most important part of filmmaking. The first thing which you should keep in mind is that always shoot on 24 fps, because every feature film is shot on 24 fps, and that is one of the reasons why feature films have that cinematic look. When we made our first short film, it didn't have that cinematic look, as you guys can see. It just looks like an amateur video which is made by some random college students. First of all, what you gotta do is start shooting on manual mode. If you have a DSLR and call yourself a photographer or cinematographer, by using your DSLR on auto mode, then my friend, you've got some serious problem. Everybody is a photographer or a cinematographer until and unless they haven't explored the manual mode. So there is this second step which you should follow, and that is the shutter speed. In photography, we call it the shutter speed, but while shooting a video, it is known as the shutter angle. So all the film cameras such as the Red, Arri, Panavision, etc. have the option of 180-degree shutter angle. But in a DSLR, we don't have the option of 180-degree shutter angle, so we keep the value which is close to that value of 180-degree shutter, which is 1/50th of a second. If you shoot at the shutter speed of 400, then the objects in the frame will be too sharp, and that doesn't have the cinematic motion blur. And if you shoot at the shutter speed of 50, then you will get the perfect cinematic motion blur. And if you are shooting on 50 fps, then keep this thing in mind, your shutter should be always the twice of the frame rate. If you haven't set the correct shutter speed, then you will get flicker. And the next step to keep in mind is that never boost up your ISO too much. If you do that, then it will result into digital grains, which is also known as noise, and that doesn't look cinematic at all. The next thing which you should keep in mind is the picture style. If you are shooting on standard picture profile, then you might get these colors which you are seeing right now. These are the colors which are auto-generated by your camera itself, and there is less scope for color correction. Or else you can go to the user-defined option and lower the sharpness, contrast and saturation to minimum, or else up to your needs. So always shoot on custom picture style because it will help a lot while color correction. The next step is setting up your white balance. If you have an entry-level DSLR such as the 700D, then you might get features such as the daylight or tungsten, which are really useful for the cinematic look. But if you have a high-end DSLR such as the 7D or 5D Mark III, then you get the option to set up the Kelvin, which gives you the desired color temperature. For daylight, you can use 5500 to 5600 Kelvin, and while shooting at night on tungsten light, you can use 3200 to 3300 Kelvin. Basically, if you have an entry-level DSLR, then the daylight setting means 5600 Kelvin and the tungsten setting means 3200 Kelvin. So that's it for this week's video, and I'll catch you guys next week. Bye guys.
So please like, share, comment and subscribe to The Indian Filmmaker. Over and out. We are back here. Okay, so there is this second episode about cinematography, which is the second half of this episode coming next week. So stay tuned for that. Over and out. Bye guys. Hey, yeah, this is not working.